Well, the walk to the stage makes the first question pretty obvious. What happened?
Last week in November, I think, I was testing. First time I'd done some real testing with Honda, and took off a little awkward on a jump, and when I came down I landed pretty hard, and just the way I ride with the balls of my feet on the foot peg, my heel hit the ground really hard when the bike bottomed out, and it separated my heel bone, and I had to have it reconstructed and have a few other things cleaned out in there. So it was a bit of a mess, but it's well on its way to healing now, and hopefully within a couple of months I'll be back on a bike.
So what is the situation? Do you have a specific date? Will you be back for Supercross? Do you even know?
Right now, we haven't set a date at all. I've obviously got to go back to the doctor. It's still pretty early days. It's definitely quite a decent injury. It's looking at probably being about 3 months all up before I can be back on a bike. So right now I'm not setting a date. I'm just looking forward to getting healthy and being back on a bike. So I'm probably saying early March by the time I can start riding again.
It's got to be pretty frustrating. I know you missed basically an entire year of racing when you first moved to the United States, and then it finally seemed like you had cleared that hurdle last year. You were healthy for the majority of the campaign. So do you feel like you did 2 years ago, or do you still feel like this is just one small incident and the worst is behind you?
Yeah, that's how I feel. Obviously, it was just unfortunate what happened. I've done things like that in the past. The way I came down, it just the way my foot was positioned, it did some damage. So. Last year was a great season, obviously getting out there and being able to pick up that championship, and, my first season of Supercross was awesome, and the whole year was great. I managed to have probably one of my best seasons ever so far, and obviously, racing against Ryan, and, just the back and forth between us, it picked my speed up a lot, and I was looking forward to coming into the new season, on a new team, and obviously, it's some big changes for me, so it's unfortunate, but that's racing.
Ben, David Iser, DMXS Radio. Happy New Year.
You too, mate.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to say.
Oh.
Going back to your resolve, you've obviously, like Jason mentioned, were injured. You came back. You obviously answered all those questions. A lot of people doubted even when you came over. You answered all those questions last year. What is your motivation this year as far as coming back after the injury, and is the plan to still go to the big bike for the outdoors?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I've got a lot of motivation coming off last year and winning Supercross series, and going into that, there was a lot of people that doubted I could do it, and obviously, coming from the background I've come from in New Zealand, there's Supercross, isn't really a sport at all back home. There's only a couple of races a year, so coming into the series, I was back against the wall, I'd have to say, obviously, and I felt a lot of pressure just from myself, let alone other people, and it worked out the way I thought it would, and obviously, I proved a lot of people wrong, which felt great, and but just great for myself as well that I could get that championship, and as far as the season looking ahead, obviously it's going over to Honda and being part of their program. A big part of it is looking for my future and moving up onto a 450 into the Supercross class. And I feel they've got the right place for me there. And if we can get some Supercross races in on the East Coast to finish off the series, that'd be great. But if not, it won't be until next year. So we'll just have to see how things go and work it out from there.
In the meantime, are you going to disappear on us, or are you going to be hanging out at the races for the next couple months? What's the plan?
Yeah, well, I did go home for a while and just flew under the radar for a little bit, and that was great. I hadn't been home for Christmas in about 3 years, so that was a good time for me, and I enjoyed that. But as far as it goes now, I'm obviously back, and hopefully within the next few weeks I can start doing a lot of therapy and getting back into my training and work off a bit of this Christmas pudding.
Okay, that's Ben Townley of the Factory Honda team. Thanks.